Well, hi, everybody. Welcome. On behalf of the organizers, this is Lorenzo Chan. I'm the facilitator for session number 3. So I'm here to welcome you to our session on developing insurance for MSMEs. But before that, maybe some housekeeping items. Today's webinar is scheduled to last 1 hour. Strictly for an hour, I was told, as there is another session following ours. That includes a Q&A. To ensure the highest quality of experience, participants will be muted. Questions can be submitted via the Q&A feature at the bottom of your screens. And the slides and a recording of this presentation will be circulated later on. We will aim to address all questions that are not answered via email. So these will be circulated to the panelists and we'll do our best to get back to you via email. And should you have any issues, please message the Microinsurance Network via chat. So if you will allow me to do a quick introduction of our 3 wonderful speakers this afternoon. The first speaker is Dr. Jaime Aristotle Alip. He is the founder of Card MRI, the Philippines' biggest microfinance institution with over 6.7 million clients nationwide. Card MRI is comprised of 23 mutually reinforcing institutions serving the poor. Its microinsurance arm, Card MBA, a mutual benefit association, covers over 26 million individuals, or about 26% of the Philippines' population. Dr. Alip has brought to other Southeast Asian countries Card's model of poverty eradication by establishing its presence in Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, and Indonesia. A recipient of numerous accolades, one of the most noteworthy being one in 2008, when both Card and Dr. Alip became the Ramon Magsaysay Awardee for Public Service. This is Asia's premier award given to outstanding men, women, or organizations for their contribution in providing successful solutions to society. Welcome, Dr. Alip. And our second speaker is Jonathan Batangan, first vice president and group head of the PJLI group of companies, the operator of Cebuana Lhuillier, often considered one of the, if not the largest microfinancial solutions provider in the Philippines. As group head, he oversees Cebuana Lhuillier Insurance Solutions and Cebuana Lhuillier Business Solutions. He is also executive director of their foundation. Cebuana Lhuillier Insurance Solutions was the first ISO certified insurance agency in the Philippines. About a month ago, they celebrated another milestone when it became Cebuana Lhuillier Insurance Brokers, Inc. Jonathan was instrumental in shaping Cebuana Lhuillier into one of the Philippines' biggest and most successful microinsurance distribution channels. Today, they continue to blaze new trails with innovative schemes, generating more than 15 million micro policies annually. Our third speaker comes from Pakistan. He is Mohammad Ali Ahmed, Chief Strategy Officer and the Executive Director for IFU Life Assurance Limited. Ali is currently responsible for enterprise-level strategy in IFU Life and directly responsible for a range of diverse functions covering actuarial, change management, product innovation, investment fund management, and alternative/digital distribution channels. More importantly for our session today, Ali spearheaded the inclusive insurance strategy in IFU Life and is actively involved in the insurance and banking regulatory bodies in Pakistan, utilizing his expertise to create partnerships with various enablers of the inclusive insurance ecosystem, such as MFIs, telcos, banks without branches, alternative payment platforms, fintech, and insurtech players. So gentlemen, welcome. And without further ado, I turn you over now to Dr. Aris Alip. Dr. Alip, take it away.
Thank you very much, Lorenzo, for inviting me in this panel. I'd like to make a very short presentation, my PowerPoint. Can I have my PowerPoint, please?
There you go.
Thank you. So I'll be sharing with you the experiences of CARD in terms of ensuring the MSMEs. Next slide, please. In the table, you will see the access to finance globally. In terms of over access for financial institution, it's about 50%. In Asia and Pacific, it's about 55%. In the Philippines, 27%, meaning for every 10 Filipinos, only about 3 are having their own bank account. Or for every 100, there's only about 27. Mostly, they are more for the female sector. So this is just access to finance, the banking sector, and the informal market. But for purposes of our discussion, in Asia, as for ADB, the Asia and the Pacific, 60% of the national labor forces in Asia and Pacific comes from the SME. So this is a very powerful and very strong sector, of which about 172 million lives and properties has been reached by microinsurance coverage in Asia and Oceania. This is from the Munich Foundation. I'm very happy to note that in terms of the Philippines, we're covering around 32% of the entire population. It's about 32 million or so. And CARD being the biggest contributor, as Lorenzo had said, we're now contributing about 26 million Filipino poor who are being insured in our network. In CARD MBA, the CARD Pioneer, because Pioneer is also a great partner of CARD. Next slide, please. Of course, we already know that microinsurance is a very important partner in breaking the cycle of poverty, because if there's misfortune, it can always be the safety net. Next slide, please. In the CARD effort to ensure, bring insurance to the market for MSME, we are actually a trailblazer in terms of the claim settlement. No? We're known before as the 135 settlement insurance company, our MBA, meaning within 1 day we can pay. If there are questions, 3 days. And if there are other requirements, in 5 days, we will bring it to conclusion. We'll either make a decision to pay or not. So we're known before as the 135. Now we have, because of technology, we're now known as the 824 claim settlement. If there's a claim, within 8 hours, we're able to make settlement, and the longest will be 24 hours. So we're using digital technology, cell phone, all kinds of this gadget to make sure that the settlement is paid to our clients, because our clients are poor. And I believe that if you are in the poverty eradication mode, you need to, when there's a claim, you need to pay in the fastest and quickest way. And because our MBA is owned 100% by our membership, this really promotes sense of ownership and involvement, which is why our repeat in terms of insurance is about 99.4%. So almost all members come back and pay their insurance. We deliver our microinsurance program and services through our microfinance network, because CARD has 4 institutions that is more focused on microfinance. We have over 20,000 full-time staff and over 3,700 branches all over the country. So we are present, and we're using our network as a means to make sure that we're able to reach our clients in a very, very low cost. And also we're using our members, the member leaders, who are elected by the community, and they are the one making sure if there's a claim, they are the one helping in the validation. So our cost is very, very minimal. That's why we give a maximum benefit for the insurance. Using the technology through build, operate, transfer, this is the BOAT program, which we call, if there are microfinance institutions or other organization, mass-based organization who want to replicate our model, we're very happy to give them and train them on our technology. We call this the build, operate, transfer. First, we operate the organization's MFI in terms of insurance, and then after a certain number of years, then we're able to transfer the technology to them. Next slide, please.
Dr. Alip, you have 5 more minutes.
Sorry about that. I get very excited.
No, there's time. Yes, but
we offer very competitive microinsurance product to MSME because we have very, very low costs. Most insurance company, their cost is around 25-30%. Our cost is way, way below. It's only about 11-12%, sometimes 8%. And we're able to give the maximum benefits. And most of our products are really very, very appropriate and responsive to the poor. So we have all kinds. We have this agricultural insurance on our own, savings insurance. This is the BUL, variable unit insurance, life. We have the life insurance, and we also have this disaster insurance. We also have other services, response to disaster. We provide relief efforts. And of course, with our very good partnership with Pioneer, we were able to come up with our own technology, the Sapron, which use the chatbot. So we're just using the cell phone, and then you can our agents can just register there, and then after a few seconds, real time, then the ones who want to be insured can easily be insured through this chatbot. This is called the Sapron technology with CPMI, yeah, and Pioneer. Next slide, please. I've already mentioned about the faster claim payment. We use technology, digital banking, promotion of premium payment, and our installation of risk managing financial services. Combined, we have calamity loan, emergency savings, and life and non-life microinsurance. Next slide, please. Okay, and just a quick summary. We're now known as the 824 company. We can make payments within hours because of our digital innovation and transforming and teaching also our clients in terms of digital technology. Thank you very much. Back to you, Lorenzo.
Thank you, Dr. Alip. I actually have 1.5 minutes left to ask you a question for your portion. Dr. Alip, I have 2 questions, and you can choose which one you want to answer. The first one is, you single out the female population's access to finance. What are the strongest lessons you've learned about working with and serving women? Or you may want to answer a question about technology. What has been the level of readiness or acceptance on the part of your clients and market to the innovation of technology? Up to you.
In terms of technology, really, it took us time to train our clients in the technology using the cell phone, the chatbot. But once they get to learn how it is being undertaken or how it can be used, they get so excited, and they really like this kind of technology because it's very fast, it's very quick, it's real time. When they make the payments, then you can easily have it already in your cell phone, paid, and also you can have the policy. Well, in terms of the women, I've always believed in the women power. That's why we'd like to work with them, because women will always think about for the betterment of the family.
Well, thank you. That's exactly, we're down the bottom. It's exactly 10 minutes. Thank you very much, Dr. Alip. Ladies and gents, on the webinar, we turn you over now to our second speaker, Jonathan Batangan. Jonathan, please share your screen.
Let me just check on that. There, can you see it?
Yes, we can.
All right. Good afternoon to everyone. Thank you to MIN for having me here. For this presentation, I shall be dwelling on Cebuana Lhuillier Brokers insurance products launched for MSMEs, our distribution and marketing strategies, including the results and key insights derived from this activity. As an introduction, micro, small, and medium enterprises in the Philippines play a vital role in developing our economy. They help create jobs and, as such, reduce poverty incidence. It is also said that vibrant MSME sector is an indication of a robust economy. To date, micro enterprises account for about 90% or 900,000 of about 1 million enterprises in the Philippines. And as to this slide, majority of these enterprises belong to the wholesale and retail trade, including repair of motor vehicles and motorcycles, which accounts for about 46%. As to the regional distribution, Luzon, the largest island, has the majority of where these enterprises are located, accounting for 64% of them. The Department of Trade and Industry, or DTI, has identified the key challenges facing MSMEs, and one of these key challenges would be the vulnerability of our MSMEs to climate change. With the Philippines lying in the belt of typhoons and ring of fire, we're considered one of the most vulnerable countries in the world, and as such, exposing our MSMEs to natural catastrophes and other risks. With CLIB's thrust now to promote inclusive insurance, especially to the vulnerable sector, notably the MSMEs, we saw the opportunity to partner with the German Cooperation Agency, or GIZ, and AXA, and through the micro disaster risk insurance, or micro DR, through this project, the micro DRI was born, which ultimately developed a product called MicroBiz Protect. Along with this product, CLIB also developed Negosyo Protect with another insurer, BIC, which has a lower coverage limit. Let me show you a comparative table of coverage between these products. You'll notice that both of them have fire, burglary and robbery, personal accident for the owner, and at least 2 employees. However, MicroBiz Protect has a cover for comprehensive general liability, while Negosyo Protect has none. MicroBiz Protect has also a unique feature called Red Button, which is an emergency helpline that can deploy ambulance or police or fire assistance. The main difference between the two is that for Negosyo Protect, fire cover starts from 5,000 pesos to 100,000 pesos, while for MicroBiz Protect, it is from 100,000 to 500,000 pesos. And this being the case, premium for Negosyo Protect starts from 150 to 1,400 pesos per year, versus MicroBiz Protect's premium from 540 to 3,275 per year. From an asset size standpoint, with its coverage below 500,000 in property insurance, both products cater to the M in the MSME, or the micro enterprise. Micro enterprises must have an asset size in the Philippines of 3 million and below to be considered as such. One thing about the GIZ AXA CLIB partnership on MicroBiz Protect is also supported. It is also supported by the Department of Trade and Industry, or DTI, which released 2 memoranda supporting the insurance learning session and campaign for business continuity and resilience, knowing fully well the vulnerability of MSMEs to natural catastrophes. For microbiz awareness building, marketing promotions were conducted by having pocket launches, participating in various business resilience forums spearheaded by DTI, and partnering with Go Negosyo, which is another agency helping to empower and build capacity among MSMEs. CLIB also joined various Go Negosyo's fora, promoted Microbiz Protect to MSME associations, and conducted insurance learning sessions in DTI Negosyo centers nationwide. GIZ helped in the design and the development of marketing collaterals of Microbiz Protect, which were distributed during DTI Negosyo Center and Negosyo or Go Negosyo insurance learning sessions. While Microbiz Protect is sold and purchased voluntarily during the learning sessions, Negosyo Protect's operating model is quite different. It is actually bundled to the retailer's packages from partners or agents who would like to be part of Cebuana Lhuillier's business ecosystem, reselling our products and services like remittance, collections, and e-load. Well, majority of these partners are retail stores or so-called sari-sari stores. This slide shows
Jonathan,
Yep.
5 more minutes. Thank you.
All right. Still have plenty of time.
Yep.
Thanks, Lorenzo, for the reminder. This slide shows the comparative results of our sales to date between the two products. For bundled Negosyo Protect with the lower variant, total amount insured is 134.6 million with 1,300 plus policies issued, generating something like 1.2 million premiums. For Microbiz Protect, which is sold voluntarily and despite all the effort, total insured amount is 1 million with 2 policies issued and generating 4,500 premiums. Based from our experiences so far, it would seem that mandatory selling is quite effective, more so if the product has simple coverage and lower premiums. Bundling Negosyo Protect also worked because as a blanket policy, there's no additional layer of seeking additional approval from insurer, whereas for the other product, Microbiz Protect, there's a requirement of prior clearance, especially for high risk to sell Microbiz Protect during on-site selling because of the limited time it needs to explain the product and to address customer queries. Taking into consideration CLIB's experience in selling insurance products, designed for the vulnerable sectors that include MSMEs, we can say that insurance products for MSMEs must be 1, affordable, well, given the purchasing power and capacity of the intended market segment. 2nd, accessible, availability of customer touch points, which can be multi-channel and appropriate or relevant coverage to make the product truly meaningful, such as the coverage for business interruption in the light of the current dispensation, which is actually COVID-19 health crisis. On the 2nd, onboarding clients must be simple and quick, owing to the administrative challenges involved in driving sales with minimal premiums. A digital sales solution is actually helpful. And 3rd, mandatory selling in partnership with agents or distributors will drive sales, especially in early stages. And lastly, multi-stakeholder collaboration is key to drive sales. From regulators by supporting insurance awareness programs to insurers and distribution channels by developing affordable and relevant products to supporting consumer protection programs, and maybe even the consumer themselves by demanding customer value from available products. That's all for me. And thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. And like Dr. Alip, I have 1.5 minutes to ask you my question. You mentioned, thank you. You mentioned support from the regulatory authorities and with the awareness campaign. So apart from that, have there been other items in the regulations that have had a significant impact on your approach for the MSME insurance business? And are there still regulatory adjustments that you reckon need to happen to enable an even better take-up by the segment of products intended for them?
Well, Lorenzo, I believe that the Philippine microinsurance regulation is doing its best and actually very supportive of microinsurance trusts in the Philippines. And do take note that our country is actually currently ranked #1 in microinsurance regulatory environment. Maybe an area that needs to be strengthened is the inclusion of the MSME sector um, to come up with an appropriate regulatory framework. As it is now, we have a microinsurance regulatory framework for micro healthcare, micro agri, micro pre-need, but the MSME is actually a diverse and unique segment altogether that is exposed to a number of hazards. Since MSMEs are the backbone of our economy and our engines of economic growth, maybe it is now timely to come up with a regulatory framework on MSMEs to define the scope, coverage, claims mechanism, among others, regarding MSME insurance.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I think well said, well put. I agree. And yes, that was exactly 10 minutes. Thank you. If I may, thank you, Jonathan. If I may move on to our third speaker on the panel, that is Mohammad Ali Ahmed. And so, Ali, we'll turn it over to you. Thank you.
Sure. I'm just sharing my screen. Okay, is this visible?
I don't see it yet.
Okay, it says it's shared now. Is it okay? Okay, so I'll start with the Pakistani perspective in terms of where we stand in terms of the MS. So over 3 million MSMEs in Pakistan operating right now, and their contribution to the GDP is about 40%, and over 20% contribution to the exports. Pakistan, I'll just give you a background. It's about a large country of about 220 million individuals. And our economy is mostly agri-based, but the service sector contribution to the economy is also now more contributing to it. Out of the non-agri employment, 73% contribution actually comes from the MSMEs. And I've also tried to show here the sort of contribution from the retail sector, which is wholesale, hotel, restaurants, that's about 53%. Then industrial establishments is also there. And most of the ownership structure of the MSMEs is actually individual sole proprietorship kind of a structure. We have very few partnerships. So this sort of gives you a very quick snapshot of where we stand in Pakistan. Now, based on our experience of the market, and I've tried to list down some challenges that the MSMEs faced. I think the first one is lack of sufficient collateral for them to demonstrate that they have sufficient equity to contribute to their business. Then for credit lines, then banks also at times have difficulty to ascertain their capacity to pay. And I think this is linked to the informal structure versus a formal structure of an MSME. We do have a lot of MSMEs operating in the informal, unstructured economy. And I think that's where they have limitations in terms of how they are able to benefit from the formal economy. Something that we also realized was that the management skills that the owners have, I think there is lacking there as well, especially in terms of financial planning and in terms of record keeping, data management. So this is probably one other area where we feel the challenges are faced. Competition, I think, is one other where these micro and small medium enterprises, we would really like to see as a country that they're able to contribute to the economy in terms of creating global partnerships and being able to contribute to exports, and that is an area which is lacking as well. And then inadequate financing also, because of the reasons I discussed. A lot of times it's family money and friends money, and the smaller circle which actually contributes to the to the financing of this. Now, from this, if you try and identify needs of these MSMEs, so you can probably say it's personal versus business needs. So personal would be the key man insurance maybe of the owners of that business, versus business needs, which could be things like business interruption insurance, for example, or insurance linked to some any cat event or any climate related event. And I think that's where the inadequate knowledge and understanding of insurance, that acts as a hindrance. Then I think skill development is one other area where we've probably seen that the skill to manage a business, in a financially viable way, that is something that sort of lacks there as well. And along with that, the lack of insurance understanding. So the role of insurers obviously is to ensure the risks that these MSMEs face, and addressing risks which generally come in the domain of uninsurable or sort of an uncertain territory for insurers, like pandemics, strikes, terrorism, flood. These are areas where, in Pakistan at least, insurers are reluctant to go into in a sort of as part of their business model effectively. Then in terms of obviously developing products, as I mentioned, looking at all the challenges, probably it's important to have the product development closely in sync with the needs of the MSMEs. And one of the areas probably that we also feel that apart from ensuring the risk, the insurers can also play the role of consultants and advisors, perhaps to make these individuals understand how to run their business better, how to run it effectively. So these could be the value additions which could actually come along with being the underwriter of the risk as well. Then I think distribution cost is one other area. If an intermediary is being used to access a group of small and medium enterprises, there are various associations in Pakistan which can be tapped into as well. So using technology to help these entities manage their data in a better way, manage their records in a better way, be sort of more sort of structured in terms of how they want to go about their business. So coming to the business model, then I think
excuse me, Ali,
sort of flows in
just
from
4 more minutes. Sorry.
Okay,
just
sure.
4 more minutes. Sorry. Yeah.
Sure. So from the product development angle, as I said, I think it has to link to the whole value chain of and the value chain of the SME, and also the supply chain that the SME is actually dependent upon. So for example, if we have small businesses, small enterprises into, let's say, businesses linked to livestock, for example, and this could be production of meat, providing meat. It could be beef, it could be mutton. And again, maybe things like milk production. Pakistan is amongst in the top 5 countries in the world in terms of providing milk. So a lot of small enterprises are in this kind of business. So if an event happens in terms of disrupting the supply chain, the animals are not available due to maybe a disease, or there's a climate event, drought or rainfall, maybe that has impacted the supply chain. So the insurers really need to see where they need to come into the actually value chain and the supply chain. Then catastrophe events, Pakistan is one of the most vulnerable countries in terms of floods, in terms of droughts. And this is an area where, this has an impact directly on our crop, on our livestock. So insurers need to really see if they're willing to actually offer solutions there. And the business interruption is one of those solutions that could be offered. And then affordability as well. We spoke about what kind of insurance solutions can be offered. So Apart from key man insurance, I think the other things which can be offered are things related, especially life and health insurance. If we talk about that, related to the family of the individual, health insurance product for the whole family, or life insurance covering the employees, SME, insurance for the owner of SME. This is something that's being offered at least on the life and the health front. Since climate risk is one of the topics of these webinars, I just want to bring in perspective. And as I said, Pakistan is one of the vulnerable countries. So we had an earthquake in 2005, then severe floods in 2010, and then in 14 again, severe floods. And as you can see that, not much data is available. Like the crop damage area was not properly identified in two of these events. The insurable losses were really very small because not really insured. We had livestock losses, we had agricultural losses, but in the end, this actually had a significant impact on our GDP as well. So insurance penetration, and right now it is penetration into the agriculture sector, mainly because of limited knowledge about the kind of insurance solutions available and the reluctance of insurers as well to go into this segment. The government of Pakistan and the central bank have a crop insurance scheme, loan insurance scheme, which is being active for the last 10, 12 years. But again, there's no innovation there because it's driven by the regulator. And as you can see on the slide, it covers 5 main crops: wheat, cotton, rice, sugarcane, and maize. And it simply is linked to the borrowing limits per acre, and that's how the insurance gets activated. It's a subsidized scheme provided by the government, and all banks who are into agribusiness, they are supposed to offer it. Banks, commercial banks, and microfinance banks, and it covers calamities like excessive rain, hailstorm, frost, flood, and drought, and also attacks by insects and sort of viral sort of impact as well. So this is one of the schemes which is run by the government. And very recently, a crop insurance workforce has been created, a task force has been created under the insurance regulator, and they are working on a national crop insurance scheme idea as well. So this, I think, if it comes into fruition, is going to have a good impact and a positive impact on and a lot of micro and small medium enterprises which are linked to the agriculture sector and which are linked to the livestock sector. And I think going forward, this is something that can be very useful for Pakistan. So that's basically the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Ali. At this point, I'd like to pose a couple of questions for all three panelists, actually. I think in this particular period of the COVID-19 lockdown that's happening really in several parts of the world now, I would like to ask each of the panelists, how are you responding to the claims and the renewals of your clients, especially the MSME or the micro side of your businesses? Maybe we start off with Dr. Alip, followed by Jonathan, and then by Ali. Dr. Alip?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. In fact, I'd like to highlight this. Given the situation now under the COVID-19 pandemic, we're able to ensure that clients who want to, again, insure their or renew their insurance, we're able to use our technology now. This is using that was developed together with Pioneer, and this is what we call the Sapron. So we're using the chatbot, within which our client will just send to our agent. They will send the form. They will send a form to Messenger or any means of digital, and then we're able to record that, and then this is linked to our loans from our banks, because what we do is we give loans to the client so that they can pay for the full amount of the premium, and then on our side, the microfinance bank will just collect payments and amortize over a period of small amounts over a period of can be 6 weeks or 6 months. So we're now using technology. They don't have to go out of their house. They just use the messenger, And we know, since we know very well our clients, we know them by faces, by places, we know their address because they can send their picture. That's it. Very easy. So this is how we respond. We respond in terms of if a client want to renew their insurance policy.
Okay. Well, thank you. Jonathan, I think with Jonathan, they still have, I found out that 95% of their Cebuana Lhuillier, the pawn shops, have remained open in this time of lockdown. So Jonathan, maybe you can share some light about that.
Yeah, that's true, Lorenzo. Despite the current situation, 95% of our 2,500 branches nationwide are open, and this is possibly because of the support on remittance services that we have, which are actually allowed by the government despite the total lockdown here in Metro Manila. Well, given the fact that our branches are open, well, customers can actually just visit our branch and file the claims, but we also have utilized digital means for them to send their claims documents to us, like for example, WhatsApp or even through Viber. So we have a dedicated number where actually our claims team, which are working from home now, can download all these documents. And it's good that Pioneer has given us claims settling authority up till 60,000 pesos, up to 60,000 pesos. And these tremendously has helped us in advancing the claims. And we have a commitment to settle claims within 24 hours. But despite the fact that we cannot go physically to the claimant, or the claimants can actually claim from any of our branches, we make it a point that our insureds are also have also micro savings accounts, so much so that we can actually deposit through their micro savings accounts whatever claims proceeds that they may have. We also have a facility called protectnow.com, which is a digital insurance marketplace. Yeah, this is what we call as the Expedia or the Traveloka or the what do you call this? An e-marketplace where they can purchase home insurance. They can also get travel insurance if travel is still allowed. Personal accident insurance, even motor car insurance. So they can make use of their credit cards to actually purchase insurance products from this website. And they can also be able to upload their claims documents. And what is actually unique with this e-marketplace, with this app, is that they can actually be given proactive monitoring of their claims. So they're notified on the status of what their claims are in terms of evaluation or even claims payment. So they're notified by the protectnow.com. We're also looking at other facilities, so much so that declaration and even claim settlement would be much faster. We're toying now with the idea of infusing blockchain technology to our ecosystem, so much so that at the very moment we have an insured that steps into our branch to get the insurance, right away this is declared to our insurer, to you, Lorenzo, actually to Pioneer, so much so that there should not be any problem in terms of claims. And even in claims remittances, since they are in our financial ecosystem, we can just credit their claims proceeds via their micro savings accounts, or in whatever way that they would want to. Like they can also actually visit the branch where they can, get the cash rather than direct to their micro savings account. So these are some of the initiatives we're looking at. Given the fact that we have about 10 million customers now, and despite the lockdown, we're expecting something like 800,000 COIs to be sold this month through our network.
Well, wow. I mean, Jonathan, we what can I say? We look forward to that.
Let's cross our fingers. We'll be able to declare that to you, Lorenzo.
Okay, Ali, on to you for how in this time of the lockdown, how are you able to respond to the claims and or renewals of your clients in the MSME sector? Hello?
Hello.
Yep. Hello?
Yes, Lorenzo, I got disconnected. I'm sorry. I
Oh,
got disconnected
sorry.
at the
Oh, all
last
right. Okay. Are you back? You're back. Yeah.
one. Yes, yes, I'm back.
Maybe I will proceed with another question. Um, uh, am I still on? Can everyone still hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can.
Right.
Lorenzo. Hello. Hello.
I think we lost Lorenzo, Dr. Alip.
Yeah, while Lorenzo is finding his way in, I don't know if others can still hear us.
Yeah, most probably.
Yeah, I
Yes,
just want
we can.
to
Yeah,
also say I forgot to mention about how we are handling the remittance. How we're handling the claims payment. No, it's very easy for us to deal with the claims payment for our clients, especially nowadays with the COVID-19, because using again our technology with the messenger, in just within 8 hours we're able to pay the claims, and we are always very true in what we say. 824, 8 hours we're going to pay despite of these difficulties. So we're just using messenger to send the picture, and then this is validated by our agents over there, because our agents are right there in the community. So it's very easy for us to validate. In fact, one of the questions of in our seminar by one of the participants, Shane, uh, it's easy for us to validate because when you see a picture, when there's a debt in the membership, you just, take the picture, send it to us, and we'll pay the claim as soon as possible, because this is our staff and our clients, our agents are right there in the community. So our this ensure that there is really debt. So it's the community helping us in this kind of claims. So very easy for us to validate. And you only need one document, just a debt certificate. That's it. We're going to pay you.
Okay.
Lorenzo, are you back?
Well, yes, I'm back. I'm back, guys. Yes. First, Ali got disconnected. Then I got disconnected. Yes.
So while you were gone, I was just responding to the first question that I want to share also on the claim settlement.
Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you. I really just wanted to maybe, I know that there are several comments. In particular, I think we had, maybe I'll do this quickly. There's a question put forward by Antonis Malagardis. It says, GIZ has committed, and this is directed to you, Dr. Alip. GIZ is committed to support CARD for the development of a business interruption insurance due to natural catastrophe. We are looking into insurance of inventory of micro enterprises and carrying out a survey on defining an average assets validation. Would an inventory insurance fit or be along the lines of the needs of CARD's clients? And so that was yeah, so I posed that to you. I don't know if you have the answer for that, Dr. Alip, or if you want us to set a meeting.
Just a quick response to Antonis. Antonis, I really like to pursue this business interruption insurance for the poor. And we're willing to do survey. We can have this joint survey together, because this is the missing gap that I think can be responsive to the clients, especially we're dealing with the poorest sector. Because we've already the disaster insurance, we already have this agricultural insurance, disaster, house is already insured, earthquake, fire is already insured, life is already insured, and then Now you also have sickness. You also have insured the agricultural insurance. But when there is an interruption of business, there is no insurance. So I'd like to make sure that really our poor clients, when they have their business, if there's a disaster, at least their income will be sustained. So I'm really willing to join hands with you on this. In fact, I'm interested to what Ali just presented. Sorry about that, Lorenzo. I spoke too much.
Yeah,
No,
Lorenzo,
that's okay.
Lorenzo,
Yes.
can I just add a rejoinder to that, of Dr.
Sure,
Alip?
sure, sure,
Yeah.
sure,
Dr.
Jonathan.
Alip,
Yes.
that's a very, very laudable initiative on your part, given the fact that our micro enterprises now are on lockdown as well. Business interruption definitely augurs very well, especially with the current dispensation. Imagine the micro enterprises now, they don't have any income, and where are they actually going to get this revenues lost? So the proposal of Dr. Anthony's actually is very timely for insurance entities now to come up with business interruption for micro enterprises, and definitely I agree to that. Which means, Lorenzo, that
sorry.
I'm also very much willing to entertain that idea from Dr. Anthony's.
Yes, Dr. Alip.
If Pioneer is the insurer, I will.
well, to Dr. Alip and to Jonathan, I am sure your responses are music to Antonius's ears, no? And I think it's very timely because a lot of people in the developed countries, no, they're all talking about stimulus packages to pour money into their economies to keep the engine revving and running after this crisis is over. But for developing countries, no, who do not have as much in their coffers, no, it's slightly different. It's a different scenario. And there, I guess we reckon that the private sector, as well as the MFIs and the distribution channels for the micro sector, will have a role to play. So yeah, we're really running out of time. And so because I've been told we should wrap up as soon as we can to make way for for the next session, I would like to end by asking each of our panelists to 1 minute maybe. What is the takeaway you want people to leave with from today's session, or an important point that you think you wish to stress about helping out the MSMEs? So maybe we start off first with you, Ali. And then we work backwards. Ali, are you on?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay, so yeah,
maybe one short takeaway. Yep.
Yes, sure. So my takeaway would be that the micro and small medium enterprises for the developing countries, they have a very important role in the overall economy and contributing to the economy, whether through the informal sector or the formal sector. So I think insurers really need to be responsive to the needs and be willing to experiment, whether through regulatory sandboxes, like Pakistan now has one, and maybe through interacting more closely with the MSMEs and be willing to bring out products which fit their needs, such as something like business interruption insurance, which I think is still missing in our market.
Okay, thank you. Jonathan? Jonathan?
Right. Hello.
Yes.
Lorenzo,
Yes,
can you hear me?
Jonathan.
Yeah, I have 2
Yes.
points. One,
Yes, I can.
multi-stakeholder collaboration is still the key. I still look forward to the day when we will have a regulatory framework for MSME insurance, and at the same time, the use of technology to really promote MSME insurance, because it's an administrative nightmare now to go to each of our 1 million micro enterprises and sell them insurance. But if there's a digital platform like what we're doing now, we hope we can integrate MSME insurance in protectnow.com, that we hope would be able to ease up in enlisting MSMEs. That's all for me, and Lorenzo.
Thank you, Jonathan. And Dr. Alip?
Yeah, just a few words. The insights that I have over the years doing this micro insurance in our country and also in Southeast Asia, the poor can pay micro insurance premium For as long as this is responsive and there's a quick claim settlement, when there's a claim, you pay right away because when they need the money, it must come. And as a pursuit for this business interruption insurance, we are very happy to collaborate with GTZ and of course our very dear partner, Pioneer. So we're happy to pursue this because this is a lifelong dream for me to really come up with the business interruption insurance for the poor people. Thank you, Lorenzo.
Well, thank you, Dr. Alip. So in gist, if I may, what are the important takeaways? Business interruption. Nothing like the current situation lockdown to highlight the need for that, especially for the MSMEs. And then, of course, there's the issue of technology, allowing us to enable us for further and more effective reach to more of the low-income sector. And of course, the reminder that we always have to be, whatever we do, it has to be responsive. And there's no better proof than that than claim settlement, proper, timely, quick claim settlement. So with that, we'd like to thank very much Dr. Aris Alip, Jonathan Batangan, Mohammad Ali Ahmed for their time and with us, and their knowledge and a lot of the intelligence that has been shared. Thank you very much. And this is Lorenzo. So we're signing off session 3 of the webinar. Thank you, everyone. Bye. And stay safe and keep healthy, everyone.